What's up, guys? We are here December 18th taking a look at the BSLT price update. This is after the big fishing update that has happened just a couple of days ago. And you can see we're at the all-time low now of 2 cents, almost down under 2 cents. We're at 2.13, creeping lower and lower. So let's talk about the fishing update and how there's just massive disappointment with it. And the funniest part about this is that even Excel Games knows that this is a bad price for fishing. So here's their Adventures of Mo, their video, and at the end, after doing 4 minutes sped up in fast time, they're like, what? Only this much blue Archeum? And they're like, well, maybe we should upgrade our fishing rods to get bigger fish. Well, that's not what happens, right? What happens is people see that this is the amount of rewards that you get, and they just stop playing and don't progress in the game because why bother? And then they sell their assets and they leave and they're disappointed. And it keeps on this cycle of incompetence on the development team in Archeworld. So whoever produced the video knows that this was a bad update. They know that the price of the fishing was bad, but the developers that implemented and put this system in place thought that this was a correct price, right? So, I mean, there's a different person who's doing the video editing and doing the Mo series, right? They're not the same people that are coding the price for the fish. Those guys are the ones that are coding everything, and then they decide, hey, this is going to be what we want. This is, the value. This is how much reward you're going to get for doing this activity. We're going to put it in a peace zone for fishing, so there's no fighting over that. The only time you fight is when you transport the fish a small distance across the sea. So the developers, the ones that actually coded and did that, don't understand the player base at all. And the price of the token greatly reflects this. Every major update has seen a decrease in the token price because after each and every update, they lose more and more fans. They lose more people that believed in them and trusted their vision for the future because they're seeing that each update, the ocean update, the fishing update, even the Luna Gym updates, the dungeon updates, every update was lacking in significant features or fun. It just wasn't a good update. So now after, almost a year and a half now of Archeworld from the Asia launch, people have finally just thrown in the towel. They've realized hey, the development team is not going to improve. The development speed's not going to improve. Why are we still here? That is the question that people have right now, is why are you still here? So a lot needs to change. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Why are you here? For me, I've always said I'm here for fun. I play the game for fun, and that's the reason I'm here. But as you can see, the video updates get less and less and less as there's less cool things or fun things to talk about. And I really don't like just bagging on the company that has a good core game that just cannot deliver anything that is worthwhile really to play. There's minor changes that could be done in the game as it is now, and it would make the game 100 times better. I've given countless suggestions to the team in supporters chat, in the suggestion channel, lots of things. There's been other players' suggestions as well. Some of the stuff that I think greatly would help the game is obviously Tier 3 or Tier 4 consumables, so new levels of consumables. Tier 3 Luna Gems specifically, because Luna Gems right now are just terrible. The Tier 1s and Tier 2s have no value. So a Tier 3 Luna Gem that gives a significant increase from where we are, because right now those stats don't matter at all, the Tier 2 Luna Gem stats. It doesn't matter what gem you have on your earring or your necklace or anything. You can't really change your build with, 5 Luna Gems at all. It has little to no effect whatsoever. The stats are 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.1 cooldown change, maybe 1% on a fireball increase, but that's not going to do anything. The main stat that matters in the game is the combat level. So first they have to adjust that, right? They have to make it so the combat level isn't the be-all, end-all best stat. And then from there, you have build variety with Luna gems that are actually valuable. Like, maybe like a 15% damage increase on fireballs, maybe a 5% damage increase on, melee attack skills or whatever. Like some actual meaningful stat changes that you have customization on your build. And you can build some pretty crazy and unique things. Kind of think like Diablo, right? Diablo is fun because you can have tons of different items that have tons of different customizations, and you have a lot of different build options. Well, Archeworld has decent amount of build options, lots of different skill trees and classes, but everything kind of runs into the same kind of skills. So if you're able to customize those skills with damage modifiers or skill cooldowns or things like that, you can really individualize and customize your character to your liking and how you want to play, giving value to those things. And an easy way to give value to the old Luna gems is simply using all of those materials to craft the tier 3 ones, right? They don't need to introduce any new materials into the game. All they simply have to do is say the crafting recipe for tier 3 Luna gems requires, thousands of tier 2 and tier 1 Luna gem scraps. And then moving forward, we need more ocean content. We need ocean monsters. As always, we've talked about this countless months now. Ancestral monsters in the ocean that drop red Archeum shards. That should be the main way for players to get red Archeum shards. And at this point, they need to remove the red Archeum shards from the blue Archeum shop. They have enough other items in the blue Archeum shop that they can remove those red Archeum shards and they can put them in a gameplay aspect. So you still have ancestral monsters. You also have fishing that does give out some red Archeum a little bit here and there on the higher end fishes we're hearing. And then if they put them as the primary resource for the ancestral monsters in the ocean, you have people going out and fighting in the ocean. So those are some of the basic changes. Of course, also people really wanted arenas. They wanted more arena times. So now would be a great time to kind of introduce like a second arena time maybe, or a third arena time, and spread those things out. You also have several different arena types that they could bring in for Arcade that should be very simple and easy to just port over. So a free-for-all arena specifically would be great, and giving some BSLT rewards off of that, which then would also kind of act as a, hey, gear up, play the game, and get BSLT. Right now, it's more gear up so you can sell blue Archeum for the blue salt stars still, and really do nothing besides farm on your house. So little to no game interaction now because everything is earned on the house. That's why they have to take out the red Archeum shards from the blue Archeum shop so that that loop, that cycle is over. Right? They can do some of the other things. They can do something players have suggested, removing blue Archeum from the Lumia searches. That could happen, but that's a dramatic change that would greatly anger all the housing community for the most part, right? They told you to build boats, they told you to build Luminas, and then now they're going to gut them and remove the blue Archeum reward from them. That would just not go over very well in my opinion. I'm for it. Like any dramatic change like that, I'm okay with. It hurts me a lot, but something needs to change, right? Where players need to get into the world. So if that's the idea that they want to go with, I'm for it. I'm okay. It's going to affect me, but I'm okay with it, right? I know a lot of other places, a lot of other players probably wouldn't be okay with that, but I would be like, sure, they need to dramatically do something different to change this cycle of log into your houses and then log out. Right now, people are logging into houses, logging out, and occasionally doing arenas. Not many people are even doing that, though, because the arena tokens, as you can see, honor token prices have skyrocketed. So giving out more arena times will help bring the honor token prices down some and also give more players fun interactions. More different arenas will give people opportunity to earn BSLT because not everyone can log in 24/7 or play at the same time. So giving them different arena types and giving different arena leaderboards, like say the free-for-all leaderboards, and then the 3-for-3 leaderboard is in-game as well. Sort of. The leaderboard's not in-game. The arena's in-game right now. So you add a leaderboard to the 3v3, you add a free-for-all arena, and now you have 3 different arena types that can be going almost always throughout the day. Rather, you scatter them around a couple different play times because obviously you don't want to have them going 24/7 because then no one will be able to queue up and fight each other, especially with like the 10-person free-for-all arena. I think if you have a minimum, maybe like say 5 people enter that arena, maximum 10, and then you award points first through 5th or 6th get points, 7th and 8th get nothing. I think that would be a decent system. The 3v3 arena is in there. They just need to add the leaderboards to it to get more people to play and be excited about that. So little stuff like that, right? Fishing is here. We just need it in PvP zones. We need better rewards off of the fish. So put the fishing in PvP zones where you can actually fight other players while they're fishing, and increase the rewards dramatically so it's worth the time and effort to fish. And then it's also going to be worthwhile to actually contest those fish, because if there's something to fight over, then people will go and fight over it, right? On that token, though, if they do increase the fishing rewards, that's going to bring in more blue Archeum into the game. So by doing that, they need to have some more blue Archeum sinks. One of the easiest way to do this is release a brand new item type that just absorbs and sinks a lot of blue Archeum. Something like underwear. Underwear, just think of a cloak, right? In the game, you have a cloak and you feed it honor tokens. The only way to get honor tokens is via arena. So honor tokens have now started to skyrocket up in value because less people are doing it. And a lot of players that are doing honor token cloaks, they are at, tier 12, tier 13, tier 14, and they're using hundreds and hundreds of honor tokens, whereas in the beginning, you're only using 25 or 50 honor tokens per attempt to upgrade. So same thing there. Like you release a new item that absorbs blue Archeum, and at first it starts out at 1,000, and then it goes to 5,000 for tier 2, then it goes to 15,000 for tier 3, and then up to tier 16, you're at like 5 million blue Archeum, and so you keep progressing the character with this new item that just absorbs lots of blue Archeum, which that will help keep the blue Archeum price up, because if it's something everyone can easily do and it gives a meaningful stat increase to your character, players will want it. So that's the other thing. It has to give a meaningful stat increase. Right now, the only thing that matters is combat level. So if they were to introduce something like that, it would have to give combat level. It would have to give more combat level than pretty much everything else. So starting out, give it, say, +3 combat level, and then it goes +2, and then it goes +1 for each level after that way, because you do want to get people into the system, or maybe go like a +5 in the beginning and then down to +4, then down to +3. You do want it to have that diminishing level of returns. You don't want someone to get to +16 and then gain like 1 whole combat level, because that's just craziness, right? So you want to balance it in that regard. You want to have it be easy to level up in the beginning, progressively get harder and harder for less value. Because the crazy people will still throw millions of blue Archeum into it just to get that 0.1 increase. But the more casual players will not throw millions of blue Archeum. They'll be like, okay, I'm going to put 5,000 blue Archeum to get a +4. But they won't put 50,000 to get a +1. Things like that. So just balancing, tweaking things, that's all that really needs to be done, and then you have a really good, solid game. Of course, new and more content needs to be updated as always. They need to release holiday events and things like that. But, that's in a nutshell, what needs to happen. We'll see what happens in the future. Development is ongoing, and